Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel. Listen, you guys, this year in 2025 we are going to make sure on this channel that you have enough information so you don't get scammed, that you don't waste your money, but you don't get stolen and trafficked and kidnapped. Okay, so some of these videos are meant to just give you information, just in case you need it. Okay, if you are a mother like myself, okay, and you are worried about your kids, they are about to go to tertiary, oh my god. It's the worst thing, guys. It is the worst thing. I can't believe I'm on the third year of having a child at rest, because that used to be my nightmare, because of course I've been at rest, so I know what happens there. But it's almost like when we were back at when you used to be at rest, the dangers were not as much, or maybe we were not aware, you guys. Maybe we were not aware. So this guy here says that he used to be an investigator, okay, and one of the things that he was part of the team that investigated trafficking, human trafficking in Pretoria. Okay, so he has a lot of information when it comes to how traffickers target their victims. Okay, he talks about why people would want a specific person to be trafficked, how the trafficking is planned, and how it affects the person that is being trafficked, and also how we can protect ourselves and protect our kids from something like that happening to them, you guys. At this point, it feels like we just need to keep our kids at home and they must not go anywhere, okay? Which is impossible because they need to live, okay? I don't know, you guys. I'm terrified when my kids take Uber, Abo Bolt, guys. My stomach is turning the whole time until somebody says I have arrived when they need to arrive. I usually just feel like taxi is safer than the e-hailing taxis, you guys. Like, I feel like that. Okay, if we cannot fetch you, go take a bus or go take a taxi. This one, because the other one, you guys, I always feel like I don't trust the people. Okay, I don't even trust the people when it's me. Okay, I'm usually like looking around on how I can attack the person, just in case. So you guys, listen, watch this video. It's worth it. Okay, it's not like all of us will be targeted and kidnapped and human trafficked, but you might never know. Even people that have been human trafficked never knew that it might happen to them. So let's listen to this video and maybe pick up some things that we can do or just be aware of, so that we can be safer from these horrible people. Okay, because the world is evil. Okay, and we must not forget. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers.
What's up, y'all? This is part 2 of the video I dropped last week on kidnapping in South Africa that has gone out of control. So today I'm focusing on the human trafficking aspect of it. So years ago, when I was still an investigative journalist, I think some of you might remember those days, for those of you who have followed me for a long time, we were sent to dig up on human trafficking that was taking place a lot in Pretoria at the time. It was out of control. So what we uncovered, we discovered that it's not just anyone who just becomes a victim of human trafficking. Usually the people who become victim of human trafficking are people that are targeted, and they know exactly whom they are looking for and what they will do with the individual. Of course, unless maybe they're just looking for body organs and whatnot, and you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, blah, 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 but that's not really trafficking now. So what happens, some pedophile somewhere in London or somewhere in the US would just be scrolling on social media, of which Instagram is a perfect menu for pedophiles, especially if you have a 9-year-old with an Instagram account that can take pictures, videos, do the what dance challenge, 9-year-old that can twerk, a 9-year-old that can do basically things that adults can do in a public platform. And that becomes a very perfect menu for human traffickers. So this billionaire will be scrolling social media, looking at their best menu for kids, which is Instagram or maybe Facebook, and there your daughter's picture shows up, and the pedophile is like, okay, I will give $1 million US, or I will give $5 million US to anyone that can bring me this child. Remember, your child posts with location sometimes. Even regardless, there are now softwares where I can download a picture and the software will tell me the exact location where the picture was taken. So, but before then it was not that deep. The location feature was just the problem. Someone would post the pictures with the location and all of a sudden the bad guys knows exactly where you live or where you have been before. Then they just hire the craziest group of mercenaries that specializes with looking for criminals that don't want to be found, and they send them to actually come and look for your daughter. So they will be surveilling your house for weeks to just know what time you come back from work, what time does the child go around playing, to whom do they play with, and all this kind of information that could possibly help them. And then they choose a day for the takedown to say, okay, on Friday we have noticed that she walks alone, probably from here to there. It will be so calculated in a way that by the time the cars stop, chances are your kid will be unconscious from a clap or whatsoever. From a commando, that is something else. One clap from a commando is just probably bigger than the size of the head of the kid. Poops, the kid sleeps. Throw the kid in a car, in a boat or whatsoever. Take off on a very high speed. Chances are there's already a chopper waiting for them somewhere. After throwing the kid off, the chopper takes over. They just fly the kid wherever, and they have money. They have means of getting the kids out of the country. It could be in anything. It could be a truck. That petrol tank, they can make sure that there's nothing there, and they open just a bit of hose for oxygen, and they squeeze someone in there. Even when that truck is in the border, no one is going to say, let's open your petrol tank to see if there's a human there. But that is just one of many ways of getting kids out of the country. They are creative. They have many ways of getting them out. They have resources. Excuse me. After knocking your kid out, the kid will probably wake up after 30 minutes or so. When the kid wakes up, they administer an injection. The same injection that they use for elephants in Kruger National Park. They will administer some injection of that sort, and the kid will pass out, probably for another 24 hours. When the kid passes out for 24 hours, just 6 hours before the kid actually wakes up, they administer another injection. In a way that when these children wake up, they don't even know who their names are. They don't even know where they are. They don't even know what's going on. But they have one main talent. They have been sexualized somewhere, and Mr. Pedophile is looking for his gratification. Mr. Pedophile is looking for whatsoever that they are looking for, and they know that it is in there in that child somewhere. So most of these kids are taken from home, and they end up doing this sex work. When Mr. Pedophile is done, have had their way with the child for a period of 6 months or to a year, or whenever Mr. Pedophile feels like, I'm already tired of this, you can auction it to the next bidder, or you can auction them. They have red rooms where a group of people would be having their way with a child and they pay money for it, and there are people that pay a lot of money to watch that, it just becomes a gruesome ordeal for the kid, probably for the rest of their lives. And when they have finished the upmarket of all the pedophiles, all of them have had their way with them, they are looking for new stock, they will probably start pimping out the child to the lower level, to the lower level, to the lower levels, such that the child might grow up in that environment and they would end up believing that that is what they were meant for, that is what their life is about. So I don't want to make this video any longer than it already is, but I just want to say to parents, as your kids will be going back to school soon, just make sure that you protect your children. You protect your children at all costs. Certain content shouldn't be allowed of your child to be out there, no matter how much they cry or they yearn for it. Just don't allow it. Just protect your children if you can. Even if you're an old woman, these things can happen to you too. If someone has the money to say, bring this one in for me, chances are you won't escape it. Do you think Honorable Magaka from your local SAPS can contend with those guys? Mr. Magaka has a family as well. He wants to be alive tomorrow to wake up and see his family. So the best way is for you to keep yourself safe. If there are certain things that you can avoid, please avoid. Avoid sharing too much information about you. Avoid sharing certain pictures about you. Avoid.